The year 2026 shimmered with a deceptive calm, a fragile peace painstakingly stitched together after the last devastating conflict draped itself over a world buzzing with technological marvels. Yet, beneath the veneer of progress, a deep-seated anxiety gnawed at the global consciousness. The scars of the recent war, though fading, remained etched into the collective memory, a constant reminder of humanity's capacity for destruction. This uneasy truce, maintained by intricate geopolitical balances and swift digital communication, felt less like a resolution and more like a prolonged breath held in anticipation. Far from the gleaming towers of diplomatic power, Elias, a former military strategist, now a reclusive analyst, sat hunched over a flickering screen. His existence was a quiet penance, each day a struggle against the ghosts of decisions made in the heat of battle, choices that had cost lives. A profound guilt fueled his current obsession to prevent another atrocity. Anonymous, encrypted data packets had begun to trickle into his secure network, each one a digital whisper of a new, insidious threat. The sender remained unknown, but the precision of the data suggested a source deeply embedded within the shadows. Elias meticulously dissected each byte, his mind a labyrinth of algorithms and strategic projections, searching for the pattern, the harbinger of coming storm. Meanwhile, in a bustling urban hub, Anya, a brilliant young cyberjournalist, navigated the intricate web of global information. Her thirst for truth and justice was insatiable, her belief in information's power to avert conflict an unshakable creed. She had been independently investigating anomalies in global data streams, subtle shifts in public sentiment, and peculiar financial movements that defied conventional explanation. These digital breadcrumbs, scattered across the vast expanse of the internet, were leading her towards a discovery far more unsettling than she could have imagined. She was stumbling upon clues strikingly similar to those Elias was painstakingly piecing together. Elias, through countless hours of decryption, began to discern an unsettling pattern. The data revealed unusual resource movements across several continents, clandestine military exercises in regions historically known for their neutrality, and inexplicable spikes in dark web activity. Simultaneously, Anya uncovered a sophisticated network of deep fake propaganda, meticulously crafted to target specific populations, sowing discord and distrust where none had existed before. The threads, though seemingly disparate, were beginning to weave into a single, ominous tapestry. Then the attacks began. Both Elias and Anya found themselves anonymously targeted by an unknown entity, a phantom presence attempting to silence their investigations. Their secure channels were probed, their digital footprints erased, and their work jeopardized. It was a mutual, trusted, and now missing former colleague who inadvertently forced their paths to converge. A prearranged dead drop, meant only for Elias, contained a desperate plea for help, alongside Anya's encrypted contact information. Their initial meeting was steeped in suspicion, a clash of methodologies and personalities. Elias, guarded and pragmatic, viewed Anya's idealistic fervor with a cynical eye, while Anya found Elias's reclusive nature and past military ties unsettling. Yet, the mounting evidence was undeniable. A coordinated clandestine operation was unfolding on a global scale. A critical data fragment, barely discernible amidst the digital noise, emerged from Anya's decrypted files, a coded message mentioning Project Chimera. The words hung in the air between them, heavy with unspoken dread. They both realized their missing colleague had been meticulously gathering information on this very project. Just as they began to process this terrifying revelation, their secure communication channel flickered, then died, plunging them into a sudden, unexplained blackout. Isolated and vulnerable, the silence pressed in, amplifying the chilling implications of Project Chimera. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The sudden darkness that enveloped their communication, a stark symbol of their perilous situation, only solidified their resolve. Elias and Anya, now bound by the shared threat and the ghost of their missing colleague, knew they had no choice but to collaborate. Their combined skills, honed by years of disparate but equally rigorous investigation, became their greatest asset. They meticulously reconstructed their colleagues' last known activities, piecing together fragments of encrypted messages, obscure digital footprints, and hushed whispers from the deep web. It was a painstaking process, each revelation deepening the unsettling puzzle. Slowly, agonizingly, the true nature of Project Chimera began to emerge from the digital shadows. It wasn't a conventional military weapon, not a new generation of destructive ordnance or a biological agent. Instead, it was something far more insidious, a psychological warfare initiative of unprecedented scale. Its purpose, to ignite global conflict not through direct aggression, but by meticulously engineering social division, manipulating narratives, and weaponizing societal anxieties. It aimed to pit communities against each other, fan the flames of ancient grievances, and ultimately plunge the world into a conflict born of manufactured hatred. At the heart of this monstrous project stood General Thorn, a figure of chilling charisma and ruthless ambition. Elias knew Thorn's reputation well, a military leader whose strategic brilliance was matched only by his unwavering belief in a twisted form of order. Thorn saw humanity as inherently chaotic, a species in desperate need of a reset, a cleansing fire of controlled conflict to forge a new, more compliant world. He was the architect of Chimera, convinced that only through engineered strife could true global stability be achieved, with himself as the ultimate arbiter. As they delved deeper, the personal stakes for both Elias and Anya escalated dramatically. Anya discovered that her own family's history, their proud heritage and cultural identity, was being subtly manipulated by Chimera's propaganda. Local unrest in her ancestral homeland, once dismissed as organic societal friction, was revealed to be a carefully orchestrated campaign, fueled by Thorn's digital machinations. The realization was a gut punch, transforming her abstract quest for truth into a deeply personal battle. Elias, on his end, uncovered a more disturbing truth. His former military unit, the very men and women he had once led, were being subtly positioned as scapegoats. Thorn's plan involved orchestrating future incidents in volatile regions, then pinning the blame on Elias's old unit, thereby creating a pretext for broader military intervention and escalating the manufactured conflict. In a desperate attempt to find allies within the labyrinthine intelligence community, Elias had confided in a trusted contact, a man he had known for years. The betrayal, when it came, was swift and brutal. The contact, a seemingly loyal operative, was revealed to be a double agent, his allegiance firmly pledged to Thorn. Suddenly, the hunters became the hunted. Elias and Anya were framed for treason, their names splashed across secure government networks as dangerous fugitives. They found themselves pursued not only by national security forces, who believed them to be traitors, but also by Thorn's private operatives, shadowy figures whose methods were far less constrained by law. Now, every shadow held a potential threat. Every face a possible enemy. They raced against time, knowing that Thorn's engineered war was on the cusp of detonation. Their only hope lay in gathering irrefutable proof of his insidious plan, evidence so compelling it could not be dismissed as the ramblings of fugitives. This desperate quest led them to a perilous infiltration, a secure data center, a fortress of information where Chimera's core algorithms and operational plans were stored. Under the cloak of a manufactured digital diversion, they breached the heavily fortified facility. The air inside hummed with the silent thrum of servers, each blink of a light a testament to the vast, unseen power Thorn wielded. Their fingers flew across interfaces, downloading critical data streams, the very blueprint of global manipulation. Just as the final packets transferred, alarms blared, piercing the sterile silence. They were cornered, the metallic scent of impending confrontation filling the air. But as they braced for the inevitable, a shocking truth flashed across Elias's screen, a final, devastating revelation embedded within Thorn's master plan. Thorn's primary target for the initial conflict, the spark meant to ignite his global conflagration, was not a rival nation as they had assumed, but a strategically vital, neutral region, a move designed to draw in multiple unsuspecting powers, setting the stage for an even greater, unimaginable global escalation. The downloaded data, a digital time bomb, left Elias and Anya with a singular urgent mission: expose Thorn before his first engineered conflict detonated. They moved with a desperate urgency, utilizing a decentralized network of underground servers and encrypted channels to broadcast their findings. The truth, raw and unvarnished, began to ripple across the globe. But Thorn's reach was vast, his counter-propaganda instantaneous and overwhelming. His well-oiled machine of disinformation sprang into action, branding Elias and Anya as terrorists. Their revelations as malicious fabrications designed to destabilize global peace. Their actions initially caused widespread panic and distrust. The sheer scale of Thorn's manipulation was difficult for many to comprehend, leading to confusion and skepticism. Yet amidst the chaos, small pockets of resistance began to stir. Independent investigators and ethical hackers, inspired by Anya's unwavering pursuit of truth, started to verify their claims. The most unexpected support came from Anya's own family. Despite their initial manipulation by Chimera's propaganda, the direct evidence of Thorn's insidious plot affecting their very homeland shattered their manufactured beliefs. They became invaluable, providing crucial local support, resources, and a network of trusted contacts that helped amplify Elias and Anya's message where traditional channels were blocked. Elias, drawing upon his deep understanding of military strategy and his lingering connections within the armed forces, began to orchestrate a direct confrontation. He knew Thorn, a man of immense ego and calculated theatrics, would seek a grand stage for his triumph. That stage, they discovered, was a critical global summit, where Thorn planned to unveil his solution to the very crisis he had meticulously engineered. It was a calculated risk, a desperate gamble that placed them directly in the lion's den. The summit hall buzzed with the nervous energy of world leaders, diplomats, and military advisors. Thorn, poised and charismatic, began to address the assembly, his voice resonating with a deceptive calm as he outlined his vision for a new world order, one born from controlled chaos. But just as he moved to unveil his next phase, Elias, with Anya's stealthy assistance, disrupted the main display, projecting Thorn's own meticulously compiled data, the irrefutable evidence of Project Chimera, onto the massive screens. A hush fell over the room, quickly replaced by a murmur of disbelief, then outrage. Elias stepped forward, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands, publicly dismantling Thorn's carefully constructed narrative piece by agonizing peace. It was a tense intellectual and moral battle, fought with facts and damning evidence against Thorn's carefully cultivated facade of authority. Cornered, His grand deception unraveling before the eyes of the world, Thorne's composure finally cracked. A flicker of panic crossed his face as he realized his carefully laid plans were collapsing. He lunged for a hidden console, attempting to activate a failsafe, a final, catastrophic command designed to accelerate his engineered war, to ensure his vision, however twisted, would be realized. But Anya, with the aid of the global network of ethical hackers she had inspired, was one step ahead. Her fingers flew across her own interface, a blur of motion as she managed to disrupt Thorne's final command, severing his connection to Chimera's core algorithms, preventing a catastrophic global war from igniting. A desperate struggle ensued. Thorne's loyalists, scattered amongst the summit attendees, tried to regain control, their movements clumsy and frantic against the sudden, overwhelming revelation. A physical altercation broke out, but the element of surprise was gone. Thorne, defeated and exposed, was apprehended, his Project Chimera dismantled before it could fully unleash its horrors. The world was left reeling from the near catastrophe, facing difficult truths about the ease of manipulation and the fragility of peace in an interconnected age. Elias, his face etched with exhaustion, but also a profound sense of relief, finally found a measure of redemption, having prevented the war he once felt responsible for. Anya, her idealism tempered by the harsh realities she had witnessed, emerged as a global advocate for digital ethics and the unwavering pursuit of truth. Yet, as the immediate threat subsided, a lingering question hung in the air. While Project Chimera was neutralized, the underlying societal divisions and the temptation for future manipulation remained, hinting at the ongoing, eternal struggle for peace and truth in a technologically advanced, ever vulnerable world.